That was my my Thursday morning pep talk. What else do we have here? We have I don't remember. I had a list of things to talk about. I don't know where it went. I even brought it home. And anyway, I guess funeral on my mind. What did I do with it? I had a list of stuff to talk about. All right. Anybody have anything else to talk about? I don't want to waste anybody's time. I'm going to be within the next few weeks finishing book number 2, and that one is on moving for seniors. And that one's going to be a great handout to keep when you're talking to old people that are not sure how to even approach downsizing or moving out of their house. Something that I had to deal with when my mother passed away. My dad had already passed away 3 years earlier, and I've helped lots and lots of families. But my first thought was, and I know even when you folks were moving out, I was just like, trying to get your house sold. Step on the gas. Come on. What's going on? I've had a lot of homes where the children inherited the house, and I'm like, okay, first step, get this place emptied out because it's cluttered. It's full of crap. Get it out. And then 4 months later, I come back to the house and it's exactly the same. It's like, what's going on? It's like, oh, we'll get to it. And I never understood it until it was time for me to clean out my parents' house.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked into my mom's, her living room. I sat in my dad's lazy boy. I sat in the chair and I'm looking around and I got like really, really emotional. And I was frozen for 4 hours, just sitting there for 4 hours. Because I'm like, everything that I'm looking at that needed to leave was like something attached to it.
Yeah.
And I went home. My wife's Donna's going, how'd you do? I didn't do a fucking thing. I didn't do anything except sit there like some little whiny bitch. Excuse me, like a little whiny baby. I was there, and it was hard to deal with. I went home and I had to adjust my whole focus and say, when I go back there tomorrow, Joe the realtor's coming back, not Joe the guy who was born in this apartment. And I had to screw on a different head and change that. But I've been in a lot of homes where people just can't, like every last thing, like, oh, you can't get rid of that. Aunt Shirley gave me that. Oh, what do you? This is something like, Grandpa wrote this 25 years.
There's a name for that, like I think my landlord's like that, where they like to keep things.
Well, there's different types of hoarding. You're not thinking of hoarding, right? Because there's hoarders that just can't throw anything away, and then there's pack rat hoarders that like save their pizza boxes and empty soda cans. Those people are psycho crazy, like you've seen on the TV show. And there's a pile of poop 4 feet high because the toilet hasn't worked in years. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the emotional change. So anyway,
do you know what though? Sorry, I want to just chime into what you're saying. I feel like I learned a lot finding my parents a place as well, because I like talk to attorneys and this and that, like for a co-op, where now I'm getting people that are like, I really want to get this for my parents, but how does it work when it's a co-op? And I'm like, I have answers. I've done this.
Yeah.
Like,
I know how to do
did
this
last year.
Right.
So, and then they're like, that's where my confidence comes in too. Cause I'm like, yeah, no. And I have every little answer because I just went through this.
You just did it.
Yeah. And so that has happened to me twice already in Eastchester. So I'm like, wow, we're at the same like location. A lot of things are popping up where I was looking for my parents. But that's also like why buying the zip code I like, because when my neighbor who is like, she has a $2 million house that she wants to sell soon. And I'm like, she keeps going, what about that house? What about that house? What did it go for? Did it go? And I'm like, no, it didn't. Why didn't it go? And she just wants to understand the market. And I understand it so much better because
that's your market.
I'm in there now. And I'm like, I'm checking out. I know every house. Where before I feel like this whole last year, I was kind of going everywhere, and now I'm in one area and I feel so much better.
Right.
Because I actually.
Like you're the expert.
I kind of, yeah.
You're like Julia and Dobbs Ferry. She's just like the mayor of Dobbs Ferry.
But like, yeah, and exactly. But she's been doing that for like a whole year now, which is awesome.
Right.
But now I'm just like, oh my God, this is like my neighborhood. If I'm not like killing it right now, but I'm going and I know it. I wake up, I look at it every day, right? There's my neighbor now, actually.
See that? That's an interesting way to look at it. To just really focus on your area so that you become an expert in that area. It is a little difficult when you're just, because right now myself, I'm like all over the place. I mean, we always have been.
Yeah.
This office, I usually just go anywhere. So somebody in Newburgh says, "Hey, what's my house worth?" I'll call you back.
I would be
get
like
back
that
to
too, though. Like
Yeah.
if somebody called me from an hour north, I'd be there in a second too.
Right,
But
right.
I just mean it feels so good to just have more knowledge than I think the next.
Yeah.
That's really.
I mean, this is a market that will never change no matter what the economy is doing. No matter what the economy is doing at some point. I was having a conversation with somebody that wants to connect me with a bunch of senior veterans at a VFW in Rockland County. Why is VFW veterans? Because these guys are older. They're living off of their Social Security and their military pensions. And in Westchester and Rockland County, you can't live in a house with that kind of income. So there's a lot of people that are not affording their homes. So I just suggested to one of the people there, I said, see if you can get me in there so I can do like a senior relocation seminar kind of thing. That would be great for the office, and that would be great exposure for the office, but also talking to a whole bunch of seniors. I did that last one I did was at the Jewish Community Center in West Nyack. And there was a whole bunch of seniors in there. And we talked about moving for seniors. And part of the process is also getting rid of your stuff, because you can't possibly take a 5-bedroom house, 2-car garage, and go move into a little townhouse. Right? There's a lot of stuff there. I got another great story. I think everybody told this story as well, but my father-in-law came out years ago. He's already gone like 21, 22 years. But he came out of his bedroom one day and he's got this gorgeous rifle in his hands. And he goes, "See this, Joe? I got this since I'm a little boy." And he goes, "I want you to have it when I'm gone." And I just looked at it and I said, "Grandpa, you have a grandson and another son-in-law. It's going to be a problem. If you really want me to have it, you should just give it to me right now." And he looked at the gun. He looked at me. He goes, "You know what? You're right." And he gave me the gun. So when Grandpa passed away, there was no issue. It was already my gun. Don't have to deal with it. It wasn't like, "Hey, where's the gun?" Oh, he gave it to Joe a long time ago.
Yeah, it's an old school way, though. I'm leaving this to you. I'm leaving that.
Yeah, old school, and there's problems. What else do we want to talk about? What do you need? New person.
I'm new. I need a lot.
You got brand new stuff. You got to work your CRM. Like I said, step one is putting all the names, or as many as you think will be responsive first, because there's levels of contacts. You got your platinums, which are people that you know are going to actually refer you.
Right.
People that you know that if you engage in conversation, they're not going to be like, "Doesn't Tina have a good enough life? What does she need?"
Exactly. I had one of those.
Yeah, we have, unfortunately, some cultures help each other all along. But people that you know, like Uncle Bob and Aunt Shirley, those people are going to try and help you out. Those are platinums. Get them in there first. Those are the ones you got to reach out to first and just say, "I got my real estate license. I'm so excited. Now it's time for me to build my business. Who do you know might be looking to buy or sell now or in the near future?" "I don't know anybody, Tina. I don't know. I don't know anybody." Well, that's okay. But if you're in a supermarket or you're out or somebody has a conversation with you and said, "I need to sell my house," or "I got to buy a house," or "My son's moving out and he needs a house. Would you recommend me?" I promise I'll treat him like family. I'll keep you posted, I'll keep you in the loop, and I'll make you look good. That's easy stuff. And you just got to do that. The reason that it comes out of me so much, it's going to come out of you that much when you call every single person, and that's engaged in the conversation and it comes out. All of a sudden, it just starts coming out because you're regurgitating it over and over and over and over and over, that it just comes out. That's what you need to do first. Once you get through that list, then you can add I don't know if they're going to be 100% cheerleaders, but they still need to know and engage in conversation. And then anybody that says, "Oh, my son has a real estate license, or my sister has a real estate license." Well, obviously you're going to give it to your son. Sometimes people come back I actually sold a co-op to a girl right here in Tarrytown who said, my mother-in-law is a Weichert agent. And I go, oh, so most likely you're going to use, she goes, absolutely
Mother-in-law.
not. Absolutely not.
That's the key.
So I was like, okay, great. So, yeah, so you just don't know. You got to engage with everybody and then you'll feel it out. Who's
Yeah.
somebody that you want to stay in touch with a lot and who's somebody that I'm just going to dabble once in a while. Right.
I had all three instances yesterday. Two people that were like excited, super excited, and future they're planning on because they're
Right.
getting older. They're like my age, so they want to downsize. And one that you could tell he was seething, being like angry that I got this,
Really?
Yeah, he was just like all of a
Not
sudden-
happy for you.
No,
Let's put it that way.
Let's put it that way. And then another one who's an old friend of mine. We work together, so we see each other once in a while. And she goes, "Oh my God, my nephew just got his license too." And then later, she sent me a broker to contact.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she's happy
Yes.
for me.
Yeah,
She's
she's
gonna
happy
use
for
her
you.
nephew for sure. But
Here's the reason that she sent you a broker because some brokerages, most brokerages, offer you an incentive if you can recruit
so for
somebody.
her, yeah,
So even though he doesn't sell any houses, if you joined,
yeah,
he gets a
his
bonus.
her
He
nephew,
gets
yeah,
some of everything you do.
yeah.
Right.
So
So
anyway,
that's
those were
that's
the
yeah. So that's an
three
X
different
right there.
instances.
That's somebody that you can still want to shine a light on.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get rid of those people because when you do sell a house, you still got to let them know that you just made a sale, under contract, etc. Right? Those you still got to send them something periodically.
And her father was a real estate lawyer.
Really?
He passed away last year, but
So they have real estate
yeah,
in their
I think
in their
that's
blood.
why her nephew's so
Right. However, not everybody steps on the gas when they get in this business. So
Yeah.
just the fact that he did that, it may just be passing
he's
through.
21.
Yeah. And so
He's my nephew's age.
so he may just be how
Yeah.
old?
He's 21.
21.
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
He may just accelerate or most likely, find something else to do.
Right.
Probably didn't
He's
even
still
meet
in school.
girls yet. Once you introduce to girls, guys
Things
change
Yeah.
completely. Changed my life completely. Like, I don't even want a bicycle anymore. Give me a car. Never riding this thing again. Anyway, so that's really what you have to do first. Get those names in there. Start reaching out to everybody. And I say this, and it keeps coming up meeting after meeting. The same thing. What do I say? Exactly what I just said. Contact people. Let them know you're in real estate. I guarantee you that out of all the agents we have in the office, only a small percentage of them are actually doing. It is a statistic that,
You have to start somewhere.
yeah, right. So the idea is knowing and doing is two different things, right? I think I know there's a biblical reference that says, be a doer of the word, not just a hearer only, right? Because if you're a doer, if you're a hearer only, you're deceiving yourself, right? I don't know where that is, but it's in there and it's close to word for word. So be a doer, not just a hearer or, just a people pleaser going, yeah, I'll take care of it. Just do it. You're not doing it for me. Do it for you. Because the people that listen to what I say and do it, what happens, Jenny?
Success.
You there, Jenny? What happens when you do what I tell you? Jenny, you there? You left me. She left us. Well, Jenny will say, when I do what you tell me, it works every time. Got it? So I'm not just giving you exercises for nothing. I'm telling you what works. It still works for me. When I pick up the phone and make phone calls, the only reason I don't is because I don't want to. I don't want to. But when I pick up the phone and start doing things, I get calls from my magazines. That's the simplest thing is sending out my magazines, effortless. I send them out. People love those things. They sit in doctors' offices. They sit in waiting rooms and things like that. Those are just ideas, but they cost money. Do the stuff that doesn't cost any money first. And then as an addition, like Miss Katrina does, in addition to what she does, she's got her Zillow zip code, and her realtor.com. Ricardo's got a couple of clients from realtor.com. However, even though he's got somebody from realtor.com, he also got somebody from sitting in an Uber. And the freaking Uber driver wants to buy a house. Can you believe it? Just
So you never
engaging
know,
in
right?
conversation. Am I right, Ricardo?
Yes, I'm gonna show him some properties today.
Today, the Uber
Yes.
driver. Can you believe that? Just engaging with the Uber driver. The guy got pre-approved and he's taking him shopping. Doesn't matter what his budget is. Doesn't matter if it's a $1 million house or a $200,000 house. The fact is that he got the client just from every day engaging in conversation. How cool is that?
That is-
Okay, I'm tired of talking. Anybody have anything else they need or would like me to discuss?